has taken over.
Let's go.
It's Ferrall.
Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money.
It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible. Hanging out the bad seat, the bugger, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City. The Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion chariot up Shadoobie. Along with the Tutty and Tater King, the founder of the ILC podcast, the rights holder of the Sheet of Integrity, and the Put It With the Golf guru, particularly during a major week. It's Carver High this afternoon, ladies. Mafia is running it along with Luke. I am your father. The rundown on a Where Do You Hurt Wednesday, a double shot with Morency this very hour from British Columbia. And, of course, we're going to hook up with Lindsay Casanelli today. She's going to be later on from Univision. Wait till you get a load of this girl. She gets it all going. She's done it all in sports. I mean, literally everything. Very cool lady. We'll talk to her later today. Double shots with golf. You got the Prime Minister, Cam Stewart, live from Toronto in the second hour. In the third hour, a double shot from Stewie. Your boy Keith Stewart from Read the Line is ready at Quail Hollow to get down and dirty with Sweeney Murdy and your boy Carver High, getting ready for tomorrow's round one of the PGA Championship. It's all evolving rapidly, and we've got tons of Brian Dayball today. There's afternoon doubleheaders underway. There's games all day, games all night, 4 playoff games. Where do you hurt?
Yeah, it is a big Wednesday, and yes, a golf Wednesday indeed. Can't wait to talk to Cam and Stewie about the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow, of course, which is teeing off in the morning, second major of the year. Everybody is very excited about that, so we'll have you covered there. There is lots of afternoon baseball here on a Wednesday. It's kind of wet and dreary in the Northeast, but they did get a couple of these games in. They're playing 2 in Baltimore today. Twins with a 6-3 lead on the Orioles as they go to the bottom of the 9th inning at Camden Yards. When that game ends, Scotty, they will go and turn around and run it right back with the second game, which I'll give you the numbers for in a moment. Also, the Phillies and the Cardinals are playing tied it at the bank. And Stott's up now. You said they just tied it, and it's a little ground. It gets by him at second. So 1-1. For the Phillies and the Cards. Of course, the Cardinals are going for what, Scotty? 10 in a row today they're going for? Now, they will play a second game later tonight. That's more of a split doubleheader with a 6:15 East first pitch.
You mentioned how much you and I both dislike the Cardinals.
I know. I can't stand the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't know why. I've never had any, like, the Yankees never play. I've always hated I just don't like, I have never liked the Cardinals. I used to have a college roommate at Indiana. Greatest guy ever. I've been friends with him my whole life since college. He used to run around in his St. Louis Cardinals underwear. Like, the guy would wear, like, boxers and Speedos, and they all had Cardinals. Like, he had like Speedo Cardinals, boxer Cardinals. He had pajama Cardinals, and I hated the Cardinals like nobody's business. So at the time, I hated him, and I would sucker punch him in the face. That's not nice. But either way, if he's a Cardinals fan, I guess he deserves it. The Brewers lead the Guardians 5-2, top of the 7th in Cleveland. So you have that game also.
They had a great night there last night in Cleveland. I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Yes, they certainly did. We'll get to that in a moment. There is going to be a second game, as I mentioned, with Minnesota and Baltimore. Simeon Woods-Richardson is going to start for the Twins in game number 2. Now, the Orioles had Cade Povich. He was supposed to start last night. They have it listed right now as undecided, at least on a couple of places.
I'm seeing McDermott.
Maybe your boy McDermott is going to get in there and be the guy who starts. But either way, they'll play that second game Orioles are favored right now. That could change depending on what happens here. With this one, minus 135, plus $1.15 for the Twins, and another big 9.5, as they've already scored 9 in this first game.
Yeah, look, they've been on fire. They were, what did they? They had won 8 in a row, right, with the Cardinals until they got rained out, right? So today they would have been going. Would they have been going for 9 in a row today?
Yes, they are going for that this afternoon if they could finish off this game here in the bottom of the ninth.
Well, then I'll take them in game 2 to make it 10.
Game 2 would make it an even 10 if they could somehow pull it off. Also this afternoon, 2 other games on the West Coast starting within the hour. Diamondbacks and Giants, they've split the first 2 games. Giants hit a bunch of home runs last night. They'll have Jordan Hicks against Eduardo Rodriguez in about 40 minutes from now at Oracle. I've got this as minus 110 both ways, 8.5 the total.
I'm going to go with my boy Hickey Freeman and the Giants again at Oracle. By the way, 9-4 last night with our baseball snags. And, hit the stars. That's 10. How about hit them on the money line and the puck line? That's 11. Had the Nuggets, 10. That's 12. And I did not hit the Pacers. So sorry for those 12 tickets we cashed for you last night. And I know you hit a bunch of home runs.
We had 2 from our list: Pete Crow Armstrong and what was the other one? Oh, Ellie De La Cruz. We had 2. Ellie tied it in the bottom of the 9th, and then the Reds lost.
Phillies take the lead.
Man, I need a homer from Harper, not a bloop single into center field. But yes, 2-1 Phillies now there in that one. Yankees and the Mariners will also play in just under an hour from now in Seattle. Of course, the Yankees lost that game in extra innings last night. Will Warren and Luis Castillo. Today, Yankees minus 115, minus 105 for Seattle at an 8.5.
I'll still, despite the walk-off loss, I'll still go back to the Pinstripers here. I like the price.
The Pinstripers with Will Warren. All right, so we have plenty of baseball that we will do here moving forward. Did they get him at the plate? Was that the second run, Scotty, trying to score?
No, they had already had that run. They got the out after that. I don't know what happened. They definitely, unless I'm tripping, it's 2-1. So first and third before the play. So
how about that? Interesting there with Stott at home plate. Also, we got tons of baseball, and then Pacers send the Cavs home last night. OKC took a 3-2 lead on the Nuggets. Man, Cleveland. All for nothing. That big regular season that the Cavs had, up in smoke. Finished.
Well, listen, no surprise here by either of us. This is, it's become a broken record. I don't know how many times I can say this. It's getting stale. The Pacers are going back to the Eastern Conference Final. I've been on them for 3 months. I've been telling you for 3 months they're going to be the team to worry about. We used to look at those odds every week. Who's going to win the East? I don't care who's going to win the East. I know who's going to be in the Eastern Final, and it's going to be the Pacers. And I've already said it. If the Knicks get through, they're going to lose to them. If the Celtics get through, they're going to beat them. And I know that everyone thinks, oh, Tatum tore his Achilles, they're finished. I pray to God they are finished. I really do. I hope the Knicks win tonight. I mean, I'm losing my mind, hoping that they finished them off. Look, the Pacers finished them off last night. Why can't the Knicks win all 3 games at the Garden? I mean, the Pacers did it at the Rockets, so I think it's very doable. But I think the Pacers can beat the Knicks.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Vegas knows how to show love to our everyday heroes. So if you're a first responder, you are in for some perks. Lots of hotels and casino offer big discounts to any first responders who can show valid work or volunteer ID. So treat yourself to a discounted stay. You deserve it. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star three trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
You can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 on all of our TV and radio outlets. We get Morency for a double shot every day here on Coast to Coast from Vancouver. So tonight, the Knicks and the T-Wolves can close out their series against the Celtics and the Warriors. The games are in Boston and in Minneapolis. What do you think's going to happen in those games tonight? And I've had a lot of people... you hear them all day, every day now say, oh, the Celtics are finished because Jason Tatum tore his Achilles and they're done and their franchise will never be the same. Are you buying all that shtick, or do you think White, Brown, Zinger, Pritchard, Horford, and everyone else can get involved here and steal this game tonight in Boston and send it back to New York?
You know, Scott, immediately after the last game, I saw the point spread come out. That's the cool thing. You know, when we're on late, we see the opening numbers all the time. And I was like, this is crazy. I can't believe the Celtics are laying 5 points. How are they going to win this game? They just lost Jason Tatum. And, you know, it was heat of the moment after the Knicks beat them. And now as game time approaches, and the pendulum began to swing for me last night, believing, Scott, that the Celtics get this done tonight. Right? I don't know if they're going to be able to win, and I don't think they're going to be able to win 3 straight games. Right? But I think it's a play on the Celtics. You got the picture of Tatum in the hospital bed. Everybody else is going to step up. I mean, we talked about if you're a championship team, and they are a championship team, it can't just be about one player. Jason Tatum isn't Michael Jordan on the Bulls here, right? And the thing with the Celtics, they've always boasted about how deep they are all the time. So this is their opportunity. Jaylen Brown needs to step the F up. Let's just call it out for what it is. But I think they can, Scott, in a one-game setting here. So, you know, if I'm walking into a trap, I'm walking into a trap tonight, Scott. But I think the Boston Celtics do get it done tonight. And I don't know, it's almost too cool for Knicks fans if they actually win on their home court, right? I almost feel like this thing's going 7. Like, let's be real. The Knicks are a lot like the Leafs, right? Until you're there, you're not there, guys. I'm just stating, there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong still here. Boston are up against it right now. I got to believe the Knicks win the series, but I'm on the Celtics tonight, Scotty.
And what about the T-Wolves?
Yeah, I think Golden State are done. But I tell you, I don't like laying points, man. I laid points last night. I thought that, Cleveland will waste the Pacers. Yeah, it was looking good. They were up by 19. We know what happened in that game. And same thing with Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City didn't cover last night. I mean, they were lucky they won, and then they actually nearly covered in the last minute somehow. But they didn't. So I'm always hesitant. Denver. Yeah, you know what? Good pick. They nearly won the game outright, man. Like, for real. I thought, like, wow, Denver wins this game. They're going to the finals. These NBA playoffs have been unpredictable. We'll definitely say that. But, it seems to me, Scott, that Golden State are done right now. And, so the only question is, does Minnesota cover the number or not? I don't think it's the best bet. Like, you know what I mean? You're laying 10.5 points, but I think Golden State are done tonight. I think Minnesota are going to win the game.
Yeah, it's always hard, as you know, to finish someone off. The elimination game is a tough one, and that's a gigantic number. I think that number's live at 10.5 with the Dubs. They obviously have to get better productivity from everybody. I mean, I heard that Butler was sick, and we already know Green can't shoot, but they got to get
Scott,
healed.
Let's talk about Butler a little bit.
They all have to produce.
Let's talk about Butler a little bit. Like, Butler thinks he's a superstar. He acts like he's a superstar. He's not a superstar. You're a star, right? You're a star. DeMar DeRozan's a star. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's stars and there's superstars in this league. And I've always thought that Jimmy Butler's just a little bit overrated. Like, put it this way, Scott, like, okay, Curry's out, and I totally get it. Curry, you're losing 25, 30 points. Yeah, it's impossible to replace. But has Jimmy Butler done anything, Scott? I mean, like, if we bet on Golden State, we're counting on Kuminga to hit threes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kuminga's been their best player. All right? We need Looney to hit a couple of shots. I don't believe in Jimmy Butler. What's Butler going to give me tonight? 14 points or something? You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, he doesn't have the capability of going off and taking the game over.
Night. It was awful. Yeah. And Looney gave him 8. Santos 7. Obviously, you're right. Kuminga was the main man. Podziemski was awful. 3 of 14 from the floor. Jackson Davis 5. Healed 13. He was 4 of 11. Terrible. I mean, none of them can. They're hot and cold the way they shoot. I have to ask you this question. So today I'm balling. And when I got there at 5:30 in the morning, they were all talking about.
Man, that's hardcore.
I couldn't even believe it. They were telling me that Cooper Flagg is not a generational player. That he's not a savior. He's not And then it went from that to would you trade him for Giannis? They should trade him for Giannis. I said, listen, they will set that guy on fire in the middle of the town square at high noon if they trade Cooper Flagg for Giannis Antetokounmpo. They will set him on fire. And I also said, then they tried to tell me that Dylan Harper was better than Cooper Flagg. And I was ready to go home. I'm like, you are tripping. I said, what's next? You're going to tell me Ace Bailey's savior too?
They're terrible Rutgers
Cooper
this year.
Flagg he's can't miss. Cooper Flagg's going to be a stud in the NBA. I don't care what anybody says.
No, I agree with you. And it's funny because, people are talking, and I don't know, it's not like, Milwaukee never agreed to do that deal anyways. I know people just threw that out there. But after what happened with Luka right now, they just fell ass backwards into another player that they can have for the next 15 years as their star player. Don't mess with it, right?
I mean, honestly.
And if they traded for Giannis, he would just get hurt. And then that'd be the end for Harrison. Like, Harrison, you won the lottery, literally and figuratively. Don't tempt fate again. And listen, Cooper Flagg, I think he is a generational player. He's a can't-miss type of all-star for the next 12 years. Right? And he's only going to get better. Guys, he's still a freaking kid, man. Let's be real. He's still a kid. This guy is a badass basketball player. Then they started telling me that he's a long line of white guys that won't amount to anything. Scott,
I was like, you're wrong. You're wrong. He's that good.
You remember he practiced with the Olympic team, man. LeBron and KD told him, dude, you're legit.
He's so white, he's black.
still underdogs at home, on the road, and all of these games. It's time for people to start understanding it's a legitimate team that has a chance not only to win the series against Cleveland, but also maybe even go all the way to the NBA Finals.
I think a lot of the focus has been on why the Cavs have not played particularly well. A lot of that is due to injury, of course, but I think that's taking too much credit away from what the Pacers have done.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and you know that's long rehab. You're talking
That's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times, but screw the Celtics.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I told you to stay away from that Jets team in a road game. They're now 0-5 on the road, and the Stars beat their ass again last night. I bet it on the money line and the puck line, and they did it again. They're up 3-1. So tonight,
Let me just say this. The Jets will win at home. They're going to win at home. They're going to lose the next game. I'm done on the road. I have to admit it. They're going to win at home. You know what's crazy? The Dallas Stars guys have scored 10 goals in this series. 7 of them are by Finnish players. Granlund and Rantanen are like Team Finland is killing Winnipeg right now. 2 Finnish guys are like bringing the entire season down for the Jets. And we'll get to the Jets tomorrow, but not all Hellebuck's fault. Winnipeg Jet power play is brutal. It's terrible. It sucks. It blows. I can go on, but it's a family program. But let's get to tonight.
All right, so, and secondly, you can't win the Stanley Cup if you can't win on the road in the playoffs. And that's just all there is to it. So you got to be able to show you can win some games on the road. You can't get to 16 unless you win on the road. So here's the deal. Tonight, it doesn't get any better than Toronto. I think that game is, the featured attraction, the early game. The Panthers and Leafs at Scotiabank, and then the nightcap, the Oilers up 3-1 in Vegas. Can they knock out the Knights tonight on the Strip?
Listen, this Panthers-Leaf series is real. All right, there's a lot of animosity. There's a lot of bad blood.
Tension.
The Leafs got a little, they got a little cocky earlier in the series. The Leafs when they were up. Now you can see the Panthers have the swag back. They're the ones talking smack on the ice, and you get some of this mic'd up stuff. It's great. They're really going at it. It's mostly the Panthers talking. But so the Panthers have their swag back. Bobrovsky is such a streaky goalie. When he's hot, he's unbeatable. When he's not, he'll give up 5 goals. And we saw he was pretty shaky on the road in the first 2 games in Toronto, actually. I'm a little bit concerned from a Leaf perspective that Bobby is back right now, that he's back in a groove. As the series goes on, the Panthers are dialing it up a notch right now. And the Brad Marchand acquisition, the Seth Jones acquisition, we talk about teams that play a lot of hockey and it catches up to them, but the Panthers did a great job of adding players to this. So they're not just a bunch of worn out guys. Listen, the series is on the line for the Leafs tonight. If the Leafs lose tonight, they're losing the series. If the Leafs win tonight, they can still lose the series, right? The Leafs have a hard time closing series out. We know, you just talked about it. The fourth win is always the hardest win to get. Florida's got the swag back right now. So even if you're the Leafs, you get up 3-2, you're probably going to lose in Florida, and you're looking at a Game 7. So you need to win tonight. Like, absolutely, positively. This might as well be a Game 7 for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight.
Can you believe the price? I love the price for the Leafs.
Yeah, people don't believe in them, Scott. And I'll tell you this, too, Scott. You know, obviously the Leafs have a lot of coverage. And there are a lot of people around the team, and people are on the plane and stuff. And we're hearing, that the Leafs are not rattled. And I know, you can just talk about their psyche here. In past years, in these series, there's almost like this, something's going to go wrong, we're going to lose. They feel good about it. It's 2-2. They didn't think it was going to be easy. You got a best of 2 or 3 right now. So, like, Leaf fans, the sky has fallen a little bit, but the players have not. Marner and Matthews needs to step up tonight, obviously, but I think the Leafs get it done tonight, guys. And like I said, there's no guarantee they're going to win the series, even if they win this game tonight, but I think they do win this game tonight at plus 120. And you and I have been riding the oil train, and I'm going to continue to ride the oil train. Hell, if we lose, Scott, we'll just load up in the next game and we'll get our money back because they'll win. But I think the Oilers are going to beat them again tonight. I think the Oilers have that killer instinct.
Yeah, I just can't get off of them. And the night I did, I cashed that ticket as well when they lost 4-3 on the last second goal. I hit that at $1.10. I'm going back to that even money
a good point,
oil
Scott.
can. I'm with oils.
That's a good point. That's a great point. The one game that they lost in this series was like a miracle, win for Vegas.
That's the only time they lost.
That's how good Edmonton's been. They got scored on with 0.4 seconds left. That's how good they've been. Since they lost the 2 games to the Kings, they've lost once. I mean, they're on a 7-1 outright run right now.
I want to see him finish him off in Vegas and watch all those people walk on the strip miserable. I just want to see Oilers beat them and finish them and stick a knife in their chest. One of their own knives, like one of those knights, big giant daggers, stick it right in their chest. You know how that guy comes out to center ice and he sticks the thing into the ice? I hope they kill him too.
Speaking of getting killed, you should see these videos online, bro. People in Edmonton, it's like serious brawls every night. Like
it's
when they watch
the community.
Games.
I think it's good for everyone.
Still underdogs at home, on the road, and all of these games. It's time for people to start understanding a legitimate team that has a chance not only to win the series against Cleveland, but also maybe even go all the way to the NBA Finals.
I think a lot of the focus has been on why the Cavs have not played particularly well. A lot of that is due to injury, of course, but I think that's taking too much credit away from what the Pacers have done.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and that's long rehab. You're talking
that's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times. But screw the Celtics.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. only on SportsGrid.
So much we haven't talked about already since we opened the show. We talked about the Pacers finishing off the Cavs, but we didn't talk about that great game last night at the Paycom in OKC to the Thunder. Were able to get past Denver, 112-105. We both hit that 10 spot with the Nuggets. We both thought that the Thunder would win but not cover. That happened as well. It ended up being a great game. At one point, it was like 106-103. It was scary for the Thunder, no doubt, Mike.
Yeah, it really was scary for the Thunder for a little while. And really, Nuggets had the game, honestly. They had what? They had about an 8-point, they had about like a 6 to 8 point lead early in the fourth quarter, and they just couldn't make a shot down the stretch, the Nuggets. They just kept missing and missing and missing. But the Thunder were able to take advantage. 112-105 was the final. A couple late threes with about a minute left really put it away for OKC on TNT.
Some help from Murray. Kick, Dort, extra. Williams on the way. Connects! Thunder lead by 3. High screen, Hartenstein. Shot clock is down to 6. Gilgeous-Alexander.
Dort hit 3 in a row, 3 threes in a row, and it's not like he's some kind of three-point specialist, but he hit 4 of 8 in the game. They had so many guys. Caruso hit 3 threes. Everybody chipped in. Holmgren hit 1 at the beginning of the game. Shai Gilgeous hit 1. Wiggins hit 1. Jay Will hit 2. Bottom line is they got it done like they do in that building. But it was certainly different. Remember the last game, game 2, they put 149 up, and they had to work their ass off to get a $112 up. I'm telling you, they're going to lose in Denver, and it's going back there for a game 7. And you saw what happened. Mike said it. They were up 8, and they couldn't hit a shot. They blew it. And I don't know if you can have a game like Joker had, 17 of 25 from the floor, 44 points, 15 boards, and lose. Honestly, I think that if he does that again in a game 7, they'll beat him.
They, in the fourth quarter last night, if you take Joker out, because Joker obviously, he scored some points. The rest of the Nuggets combined were 1 for 17 from the floor in the fourth quarter.
Ooh.
Everybody except Joker. And Joker's great. He's making these circus shots from out at the top of the key. He's doing everything he can possibly do. He can't do it all. Eventually, someone's got to make a shot. And Porter and these other guys, it was just Brick City in that fourth. The last 2 games, Scotty, they have been outscored 63-37 in the fourth quarter. OKC has outscored Denver 63-37. Fourth quarters have been the difference the last 2 games in this series. SGA had 31.6 boards, 7 dimes. It was all about getting it done at home and going up 3-2.
For me, first and foremost, winning is the end-all, be-all. That's why I play basketball, and I know that across the locker room. Whatever it takes to get that done is what our minds is on, and it's not just me, it's not just coach, it's not just Sam. It's across the locker room, and I think that's why we've been able to win basketball games this year. Now, we all know that we can't get ahead of ourselves, and we got to play the play in front of us. If we want to get there, we can't skip those steps, and that's what we focus on.
Yeah, I'm impressed by him, no doubt, but I got to tell you, look, Denver blew it. They blew it, and, they had it right in front of them, and they're not afraid of them. Look at the game. Look at when they won game 1. Look when they got whacked in game 2. Look what they did in game 3. They kicked the Thunder's ass. Game 4, Thunder get it done, goes home. They barely get it done by 7. They didn't cover 10. The Thunder and the Nuggets are on par. They're on the same plane. They're in concert with one another. These two teams are dead even. And I'm telling you, that game on whatever it is, Friday night, is that when the next game is? Friday night in Denver at the Ball Arena?
They will play their next game. Give me 14 seconds here to load this up for you. They are tomorrow night, Thursday night. Tomorrow. There's no extra day off.
All right, so Thursday night. So they play last night, Tuesday, Thursday. All right, so tomorrow night in Denver, you're going to tell me, I don't know what the number is. I'm just telling you, I think Denver's the buy for me.
4.5. OKC's favorite on the road.
I'll take the points, and Denver will win outright, and they'll have a Game 7 in Oak City on Saturday night in prime time.
Yep. I am going to be on the Nuggets as well tomorrow night in that Game 6. Joker, as you mentioned, had 44 points, 15 boards, 5 dimes. He had 5 threes as well. But here he is. Unfortunately, everybody around him went cold in the fourth quarter.
I mean, of course, yeah. It happens. Like some people will say that we are not supposed to win game 1, but we won. And then, the game 3, we didn't play maybe well, but we won. Is it game 3 or game 4?
Yeah.
Game 3. Yeah. It's a playoff. It's a series. Every game is different. So. I think even today we had chances. We were up 12 in one moment, so we just couldn't finish, couldn't make shot.
So I'll bet you they make them in the Ball Arena tomorrow night. So we'll see. Now, don't you prefer a Game 7 in Oak City Saturday night in prime time than to see Oak City go in there and knock them up? You saw the Pacers do it last night, right? They went in there and they were down 19, came back, knocked them off, and they're done. And the guy, Mitchell, he never went to bed. He's like speaking in tongues. He's talking to himself. He's sitting on a park bench. He's like a mess. He can't sleep. I want to see a Game 7. So give me that Denver and Oak City Saturday night Game 7. That's what I want to see. So we need Denver tomorrow night.
We do need that because, first of all these other series are going to be over probably by tonight, maybe. And this is going to be the only series that's left potentially after tonight. And they are going to get an extra day going into 7. So they would play Thursday night. And I think that helps Denver because we know how much more they've played here these last couple of weeks. They get 2 days off and play Sunday, Game 7 back in OKC. I think that's huge for Joker to get some extra rest. Huge for that.
So it'd be an afternoon game in 2:30 in Oak City, 3:30 East, but it would give them extra time to rest. And look, I think that obviously the Thunder will be favored, and everyone thinks the Thunder are going to win, and they got to stop him. Look at what he did last night, 17 of 25 in the Paycom, like he gives a rat's ass where that game is. My man just flat out puts the ball in the hole. It doesn't matter where it is or who it's against. If he puts up, listen, I won't be surprised at all. And I said this yesterday, that he's going to have 40 plus. I said it. And now I'm going to say this. Sunday, I bet he has 50 plus. I bet he puts up a 52 spot in Game 7. And he's going to just absolutely, they have to wise up. This young kid, Adelman, needs to wise up. These guys need to get him the ball in the low block and let him go to work. Have you ever seen anyone just with the touch he has around the basket? Besides myself.
I know one thing that last night, Murray was hot for the first 3 quarters. He got real cold in the fourth. And that Porter, man, he was shooting air balls at the end of that game. I don't know what that guy's story is.
Give the ball to Joker. Stop messing around. And they can't have Brody shooting. They need to give the ball to the guy that puts it in the hole. That's all there is to it. I'll tell you what, Christian Brown shoots better than those bums. I like Gordon, Joker, and Brown. And Murray will never have a game like that again where he shoots that poorly. Watch what Murray does tomorrow night. I bet Murray has 34.
still underdogs at home, on the road, and all of these games. It's time for people to start understanding it's a legitimate team that has a chance not only to win the series against Cleveland, but also maybe even go all the way to the NBA Finals.
I think a lot of the focus has been on why the Cavs have not played particularly well. A lot of that is due to injury, of course, but I think that's taking too much credit away from what the Pacers have done.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and you know that's long rehab. You're talking
That's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times, but screw the Celtics.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, so I saw people started slamming Russell Westbrook for whatever reason.
Did you see that article that the ESPN put out? I guess it was, I think it was Ramona Shelbourne. She deserves the credit since it was such a bad job that she did. Basically saying how what a bad teammate he is and that guys don't like him. And where do they find this stuff? They love doing this stuff to Russ, right? It seems like Westbrook always somehow finds his way into these. Well, let's just say, Scotty, before you comment on it, that Aaron Gordon, he wasn't having any of it. This was his entire 1-minute press conference after the Nugget game last night.
Yeah, I don't feel like talking about the game. Earlier, I caught wind of an article that came out about Russell Westbrook in our locker room after Game 2, which was a completely arbitrary article and pointless and unnecessary by whoever it was that put it out. Russ is one of the most talented basketball players that has ever played the game of basketball. And quite frankly, he's been great for us all year long. We're brothers. We spend more time with our team than we do with our own family. Of course, there's going to be disagreements, but that conversation wasn't for anybody other than our own group and the internal workings of our locker room. So that article is just so arbitrary and so far from the truth. Russ has been amazing for us. And not only is he a great basketball player, but he's an even better human being. And he's going to continue to be great for us, and he's going to make a huge impact, and he's going to help us win these next 2 games. And that's all I got to say, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so I don't know anything about it. All I know is I think it was. Am I crazy? I saw this video clip of was it Austin Rivers that opened his mouth about him, and is that who it was? I think it was. And then I'm like, well, first of all, you don't matter, and then second of all, what is this chick writing this article for? What's her problem? Go put something better to use of your day. Like, I don't understand. What is she attacking him for? Is that what she was doing? I didn't see an article that she wrote an attack piece on Russell Westbrook. Like, first of all, who cares what she thinks? Like, I honestly, like, who gives a rat's ass about her to begin with? Like, honestly, like, I know some people will say she's a great reporter. Okay, whatever. Like, okay. I mean, isn't she usually sucking up to the Lakers out in Los Angeles? I don't give a rat's ass what anyone thinks, in my opinion, of her either. I don't care about her. I don't care if the, wind knocks her wig off. I don't give a rat's ass what anyone thinks, of my opinion, of her. But I don't understand hit pieces on anyone, to be honest with you, let alone this guy. Now, how many times do I have to say it? This guy, whether you like him or not, is irrelevant. He averaged a triple-double for 2 consecutive years, every night. That's Hall of Fame right there. Who in their right mind has a triple-double every single night for an entire NBA season? Not once, twice. Like, you got to be kidding me. And then, like, what? You're making up stories that people don't like him? Well, maybe they don't. What, are they jealous of him? He's intense. He's an intense player. He's going straight to Springfield, okay, to the Hall of Fame. That's where he's going. That guy is one of the best players I've ever seen play. And then remember the last couple of years, Mike, they started talking about him. He can't shoot. I've seen this guy knock down so many big shots and so many threes since they said he couldn't shoot that it's almost laughable. So she can have another sandwich, and she's good at that too. I've seen her. And then, you can quote me on that too, because I'm not nice, and I never have been. Okay? So have another one, honey. And I don't care what anyone thinks. You want to do hit pieces? Well, if you do hit pieces, then we do hit jobs on you too. It's all everyone's fair game now, right? Isn't that the way it should be? If you can dish it out, you better be able to take it. And believe me, I know all about taking it.
Yeah, it was just the timing. It really was uncalled for.
She's a loser.
It really was uncalled for. And I mean, they're playing well. They're in the second round of the playoffs. It just didn't make. And you saw right there, Gordon loves the guy. Gordon, he's been.
Well,
it's just.
Listen, I don't know enough about it, but if you're gonna do a presser about it, at least know who she is. Like, you can't just be I don't know who wrote it,
I think that was him.
So stupid. He was stupid.
I think that was him not wanting to acknowledge her. I think that he didn't want to acknowledge her and give her the credit for any of it or bring her name up.
What he should have done is given her the business.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that either. We love when everybody gives each other the business. Why not? Get involved. So we'll play Game 6 tomorrow in Denver, and we will talk about that extensively on C2C as well. That'll be the only NBA game tomorrow night, no matter what happens this evening.
So you're telling me, time out. You're telling me she wrote a piece about that this guy, that people hate him.
Well, he's good for the team, but he also is, he has his faults, and he's like, it was kind of like a good side, bad side.
Well, who doesn't?
There's some negatives to Westbrook.
Who doesn't in life?
They've wanted to bring him in the past, and he shows it from time to time that he could be moody and he could be this. So
who isn't?
It kind of went after him in that aspect with Russell Westbrook. So
I think that's really weak. And then I heard this other guy, I told you, saying, what he doesn't like is people won't put their name to their comments. He said, so I'm going to do it right now. He said, Russell Westbrook is the most immature player I've ever known. And I was like, and meanwhile, you're one of the biggest hack players I've ever watched. So let's just get down to business. Okay, so he may be this, but at least we all know you're that. And then she writes hit pieces. Well, we can make fun of you too, lady. Okay? And all of a sudden, you can't say anything about women. But they want to dance with the boys, don't they? They want all the money just like the boys, don't they? So they better be able to take it too. Shut up.
still underdogs at home, on the road, and all of these games. It's time for people to start understanding it's a legitimate team that has a chance not only to win the series against Cleveland, but also maybe even go all the way to the NBA Finals.
I think a lot of the focus has been on why the Cavs have not particularly well. A lot of that is due to injury, of course, but I think that's taking too much credit away from what the Pacers have done.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and you know that's long rehab. You're talking
that's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times. But screw the Celtics.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, so the Pacers were very impressive, I thought, last night. Let's just face facts. They slit their throats. I mean, it was unbelievable. They went in there, they're down 19, and then they came back and just finished them off like they weren't even there. It really was unbelievable. Like, they just took the game and squeezed their necks.
Yep, another big comeback for the Pacers. 114-105 was the final. They win the series in 5 games. It was in the third quarter, a run that just seemed like it never ended. They hit tons of threes in it, and that's what really put the game away on TNT.
Yeah, I mean, they just are more in tune with who they are in terms of how they play the game.
Halliburton steps into a three, and he buries it. Garland, Allen got a piece. Siakam's going to fire, and he's put the Pacers in front.
I mean, it was just one after the next. Nebhard, they were all hitting shots. Everyone was doing their job. They were getting rebounds. They're just unbelievable. The way they play and the way they come in. They got, 2 sets, 2 different teams. They got 2 guys for every job. And they're a problem. And I'm telling you, this is 2 years in a row. Here they go to the Eastern Conference Finals. And they're already there. And the Knicks still have work to do. And then the T-Wolves have work to do, right? Oak City and Denver have work to do. You know what the Pacers are doing? They're chilling the most. And then people say, oh, well, they'll be rusty. Oh, they'll be rusty for the Eastern Final. I am telling you. Didn't they just smoke their way through the playoffs? They smoked their way through the playoffs. I mean, they're just killing everybody. You do not want to play them. I'm telling you. And in fact, this Knicks Celtic series, it's physical. It's taking its toll. You lose Tatum, blah, blah, blah. You got all these guys still playing and gassed. And then they're going to have to go play this team. And everyone thought the 64-win Cavs were going to run them out of the building. It was the exact opposite. They ran them out of the building every night. It was over in 5 games. Like, they destroy everyone, Mike.
They destroyed the Cavs, that's for sure. How about this number? The Cavs were excellent at home this year, except against the Pacers. They were 0-5 regular season and playoffs at home against Indiana, 36-5 against the rest of the NBA. So the Pacers went into Cleveland 5 times this year and completely took them apart. Now, this has been a bunch of years in a row. Cleveland, either first or second round, they go out with this same group that they've had together. Here's Donovan Mitchell. Let's just say he understands what the narrative is going to be once again with Cleveland going home early.
Getting beat down like this, and y'all are going to write some about us, man. And that's going to be fuel. Fuel for everybody. Y'all going to say a lot of Y'all are. And that's what it takes. I've been here. So I understand, we understand, and now we just got to use it as fuel for next year. Y'all gonna write us the off, man. But we'll be back. And let City down, let each other down. I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Whatever you say. No, actually, it's the exact opposite. What we're doing is talking about the Pacers on this show and how easy it was beating you. And we can spend very little time on you because it's the same thing every year. You never get it done. It's just that simple. Like they were the number 1 seed, and I'm sitting here telling you that this Pacer team was going to beat their ass for weeks. I've been saying it, and I don't have any bones in this. I just know the Pacers are a better team. That team is a regular season behemoth. And the Pacers they're built for playoff runs. That's what they're built for. That's
they're built for playoff runs, indeed. Now, we usually don't really like to hear too much from the loser, but we like Kenny Atkinson a lot.
We like
he's
Kenny.
He's very thoughtful, and he says a lot of very important things. So when we come back, quickly, I thought he described what is really the problem with the Cavs, and then he also talked about the potential problem that the Knicks and the Celtics are going to have when they play the Pacers in the next round when they get there. So we'll hear from Kenny and then give you the numbers for tonight.
I've already said that the 2 teams that are facing the Pacers are in trouble.
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 18.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Dr. Dre said at one time here, James Wood, always up to no good, man. I like a couple players in that lineup, and on a day-to-day basis can really get after it. Again, playing good baseball, 15-19 overall. We'll see how they pursue.
The Reds. Reds are a really fun team. Reds are, we're going to talk about them a ton, and I don't think they'll compete for a wild card. But again, you're a team like the Nats where they're going to give other teams trouble at times, and they can't overlook that matchup. Cubs win the division, as we all expected.
Pro baseball today, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star 3 trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.